All right. It is Thursday, February 27th, 2020 at 9:16 p.m. All right, let's take a look at some headlines. A new mini-moon was found orbiting Earth. There will be more. The object, a car-sized asteroid called 2020 CD3, won't be here for long, and new telescopes will help us spot more of these objects. Earth gets a new moon most months, but this month we got two. At about 4 a.m. on February 15th at Mount Lemmon Observatory, 9,000 feet above Tucson, two astronomers from the Catalina Sky Survey watched as their computer screens registered a dot moving against a static background of stars. It didn't seem to be any different than the other new Earth asteroids we discovered, except that it was found to be orbiting Earth instead of the Sun. The discovery holds the object named 2020 CD3 for now will be the second mini moon ever found. So pretty much they discovered a second mini moon and it's just orbiting around the Earth. I think they said earlier, and I was reading the article, that it's gonna be heading out in probably a couple of weeks. Let's see if I can find where they said that. Yeah, it says we're watching this little guy. It's on its way out. So it's pretty much not going to be around for too long, but it's a mini moon. That's pretty cool. Alright, next. Japan to close schools nationwide to control the spread of virus. Tokyo, Japan. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe asked all elementary, middle, and high schools nationwide on Thursday to close until late March to help control the spread of the new virus in the country. The request caught many local officials by surprise. While not legally binding, it is expected to be largely followed. It will affect 12.8 million students and about 34,800 schools nationwide in Japan, according to the Education Ministry. The coming week or two is going to be extremely important time, Abe said. This is to prioritize the health and safety of the children and take precautions to avoid the risk of possible large-scale infections. The decision comes amid growing concern about the rise of the number of untraceable cases of the virus in northern Japan and elsewhere. Japan now has more than 910 cases, included 705 from a quarantined cruise ship, and 8 deaths from the virus was confirmed Thursday on the northern island of Hokkaido. Abe's announcement came hours after several local governments had announced their own decisions to suspend classes for shorter periods. Officials in Hokkaido had said they're closing 1,600 elementary and middle schools. Hokkaido now has 54 confirmed cases, the largest in the countries outside the cruise ship. Alright, next. Woman says man held her against her will and forced her to watch Roots to understand racism. The woman said when she tried to move, Robert Noy told her to remain seated and made threats to kill her. An Iowa man is accused of forcing a woman to watch the miniseries Roots, reportedly for her to better understand her racism. The man, Robert Lee Noy, 52, faces charges of harassment and false imprisonment, according to Greg Below, the public safety spokesman, told for Cedar Rapids. On Monday, Cedar Rapids police went set on an area in the city of an open line 911 call with lots of screaming, police said in a statement. Dispatchers and officers were able to find the home by using GPS. When they arrived, an intoxicated man, later identified as Noy, answered the door, police said. A 37-year-old woman and her 12-year-old daughter were found crying inside, police said. The woman told police that Noy had been assaulting her all night and had made her sit with him to watch the miniseries Roots, based on Alex Haley's best-selling book Roots, the saga of an African-American family, which drew attention to the brutality of slavery. The miniseries aired on ABC in 1977 and won a host of awards, including multiple Emmys and a Peabody. The woman said that when she tried to move, Noy told her to remain seated and made threats to kill her. She was eventually able to call 911 and leave the line open, according to police. Noy was arrested and taken to Lynn County Jail. He was not listed as an inmate as of Tuesday evening. So my question is, Not so much worried about her, because she was safe and everything. But my question is, what did she do to force this man to sit her down and make her watch a miniseries, Roots, because of her racism? That's what my question is. Alright, next. Pigeons with Make America Great Again hats glued to their heads, released in Las Vegas. A group called itself Putin, Pigeons United to Interfere Now, claimed responsibility for the stunt with the mega hats wearing birds. Las Vegas pigeons with tiny Make America Great Again hats glued to their heads were released in downtown Las Vegas this week in what appears to be a sarcastic statement of loyalty to President Donald Trump in a mock protest of Nevada's coming Democratic presidential caucuses. A group calling itself Putin, Pigeons United to Interfere Now, claimed responsibility for the stunt. The pigeons were set loose Tuesday, according to the group. NBC affiliate posted or spotted at least one of the pigeons with its hat on in downtown street Wednesday afternoon. Putin has been used the pigeons to launch one kind of an aerial protest piece in response of the arrival of the 2020 Democratic presidential hopefuls, according to the group's statement. The release date was also coordinated to serve as a gesture of support and loyalty to President Trump. Well, I feel bad for these birds with hats glued on their heads. Before, they had also glued cowboy hats and different hats in that same area in Vegas. So it's kind of sad to see these little pigeons with the little hats on. Alright, next. Vast majority of coronavirus infections are mild, huge study has revealed. Most people infected with new coronavirus in China have mild symptoms, while older patients and those with underlying conditions are most at risk from the disease, according to the study by Chinese researchers. The disease has now killed nearly 1,900 people and infected more than 72,000 in China. A paper published in Chinese journal confirms suspected clinically diagnosed asymptomatic cases of COVID is the biggest study of novel coronavirus patients since the outbreak began in late December. Here are the main findings by the Chinese Center for Disease Control. Some 80.9% of the infections are classified as mild. So 80.9% of the infections are classified as mild, 13.8% as severe, and only 4.7% as critical. The highest fatality rate is from people from the ages of 80 and older at 14.8%. The study finds that patients with cardiovascular disease are most likely to die with complications from the novel coronavirus, followed by patients with diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, and hypertension. There were no deaths amongst children of ages up to 9, despite at least 2 cases of newborn babies infected through their mothers. And up to age 39, the death rate remains low at 0.2%. The fatality rates increase gradually with age. For people in their 40s, it's up to 0.4%. People in their 50s is 1.3%. In their 60s is 3.6%. In their 70s, it's 8.0%. Men are more likely to die at 2.8% than women at 1.7%. The overall death rate for the virus stood at 2.3%, while the severe acute respiratory syndrome SARS outbreak affected fewer people. The fatality rate was nearly 10%. So that helps with knowing that if you're older and you have a pre-diagnosed illness or respiratory illness, you're more likely to get sick and pass away. Alright guys, hit like and subscribe for more videos, and see you next time. God bless, stay safe out there, and don't glue tiny hats on birds. See you guys next time. God bless.